it's time for a reading update. Hi friends, it's Trady, and in today's video, I am going to be telling you guys what I read in March and what I plan to read in April. I honestly really enjoy doing these monthly wrap-up videos because I'm able to just like keep track of what I'm reading each month, along with what I feel like I want to read, even though I usually don't get to those, but that's okay. Anyways, let's talk about what we read in March. March was a weird month for me. I don't know if anyone else was experiencing this, but I just couldn't read. With that being said, the first book that I read in March was The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Now, I read this in particular for a video where I'm doing like mystery slash thriller reads. And so this was basically about a murder that happens at a wedding. And it's kind of like a whodunit type vibe. Now, it took me maybe 2.5 weeks to read this, and that's simply because I was not in the mood to read a mystery. I was definitely in the mood to read a romance, but I tried to make myself read this, and it was not fun. I still really enjoyed it. It was a good book. I think having 5 different perspectives within the book really kept me entertained, and that's what I liked about it. Definitely jaw-dropping moments. Wasn't expecting what happened to happen, so we love that. I gave this book 3.5 stars. If you're in the mood for like a quick like mystery whodunit, this is it. This is it. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Then after reading The Guest List, I started to get the reading bug. I don't want to call it that. What do they call it? What's the opposite of a reading slump? A reading. I felt the urge to read. Okay. Right after that book, I started The Silent Patient, which is another like mystery type thriller book. And oh my gosh, this book was so good. Basically, this woman kills her husband and then doesn't talk afterwards. So 6 years later, she's met with a psychotherapist who thinks that he can get her to talk. This book kept me hooked from the beginning, and the plot twist at the end had me gasping, jaw on the floor. I could not believe it. I was so shook. And I still am just thinking about this right now. Like, this book was crazy good. With that being said, I gave it a 5 stars. Now, after reading that, I definitely wanted something more lighthearted, but still around the genre. So I went with Dial for Aunties by Jessie Sutanto. I thought this was so well written, and it was so funny. I ended up reading it on my Kindle, which was the first book that I ever read on a Kindle before, so that was cool. So basically, the story follows Meddy, and she is set on a blind date with this guy who she ends up killing on the date. So she has no idea what to do. She's never done that before, and so she gets her aunties together, and her aunties are a very funny group, and the dynamic is just hilarious, and I love it. And I think it was a perfect book of what I needed at the time, so I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely LOL'd a few times, not gonna lie. And then lastly for this month, I'm currently reading Behind the Scenes by Corella Stutz Waters. I am not done with this book yet. I'm a little over halfway through with it, but I will be done in the month of March. This is a woman love woman romance, and it basically follows Ash and Rose. Ash is a filmmaker, but she's kind of struggling. She doesn't know the business side of filmmaking, and so she hires Rose as her consultant to help her take care of all that. I'm gonna insert a clip of how I feel about it when I finish this book. Overall, it was cute. I enjoyed the storyline. Honestly, I gave this book maybe like a 3 stars. I felt like I did cringe in a couple of moments. For example, there was a mention of an ex way too many times. It's like I'm supposed to be focusing on this relationship, but you keep bringing up the ex, and it's like, aren't you moved on? Like, it's getting a bit sus at this point, you know what I mean? I also found this book quite predictable. Other than that, I loved the filmmaking aspect of this book. Being able to see her go through pre-production, post-production, and all in between, it was actually really cool. And I was interested in reading this book because I'm a film minor, and so I wanted to see how a woman filmmaker would be portrayed in a book, and I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the books that I want to read in April. I can't believe we're already in April. What? So the first 3 books are books that I wanted to read in March but didn't get to. So I'm gonna go through them quickly. It's The Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, and Loathe to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. Last month being like barely any romances, I definitely want to get back into that, and I think this is the way. I don't know too much about these books, but this one is fake dating between a PhD student, I believe, and a professor. But I think he's like, I think nobody likes this professor. Oh yeah, he's a well-known ass. Anyways, so yeah. Next is Love on the Brain, and is this Enemies to Lovers? Oh yeah, I think she partners up with like her nemesis. Oh yeah, nemesis triggers explosive results. Cool. And then Love to Love You is like 3 novellas put into one. It's Under One Roof, Stuck with You, and Below Zero. So that's cool. I've never read a novella before. So the next book that I added to my April TBR is very much so a mystery thriller book. It's The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I heard that this is like, if you like Verity by Colleen Hoover, you're gonna like this book. And yeah, I have no idea what it's about. I'm guessing there's something questionable happening in this house, and there's a housemaid that starts seeing things, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. So we all know the hype around Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have not been a part of that because I have not read any of her books yet. But I finally want to give her a chance and get in on the hype. So I want to read 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Hopefully I'll get to this book because it's been collecting dust. And those are all the books that I read in March / want to read in April. I'm very happy I got to update you guys on what I've been reading, or lack thereof. Let me know if you liked today's video by giving this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Let me know what you're reading next month, or what you read in March. Or if you read any of these books. I would like to know your thoughts. Let me know. Stay tuned for future videos coming out. I have a lot planned and I am very excited. I will see you guys on my next video real soon. Okay, bye. Because. Oh. Let me start over. No, not 5 stars. Oh, my legs. Yeah.